Hey guys, this is the making of video for my Rosen Rally YouTube poop. So basically, the first thing I did was make the audio track, and to do that, I have the original soundtrack from Rhythm Heaven, right here. So I synced up the Vegas project in Sony Vegas to the audio track. I did that by going to grid spacing, setting that to 8th notes, and then also in the project properties, you can go over to ruler and beats per minute. I set that to the song's beats per minute. Basically just found out what the BPM for the song was, put that in there, and set that. So now the Vegas project was synced with the audio track, and I could place down clips on top of the grid and with grid snapping get them to sync up with the song. So I started with the track, made that play, and then one by one I added in instruments. I think the first instrument I did was the bass, which is just some clip from Hot Food. And then I added in the other instruments on top. Some of them are panned to the left and some are panned to the right so that you get more of a stereo effect, but everything is just clips from Michael Rosen videos, obviously. Vegas has this thing that lets you very easily pitch shift by pressing the plus and minus buttons on the keyboard. So let's say we have this clip from Tea Time. You just press plus and then it's automatically one semitone higher. So basically how I did it by ear was just put in these clips, keep pressing plus minus until it sounds right, sounds like it syncs with the music, and there you go. So that's how I did the audio. Obviously made a different track for every piece and, well, put it all together. And once you're done, you just mute the original audio track. And you get that. So I rendered this video out so that I didn't have to deal with all these clips in the actual visuals. So then I moved on to doing the visuals. I didn't use any footage from the game, so I built all of this layer by layer. Let's see if I can show you that. So here's the sky layer, and then I put the water on top of that. On top of that, there's the, what is that? Yeah, there's islands on top of that, which are sprites from the game. And then I put in the actual video of the music. Then there's a layer of clouds. And finally, the airplanes and the badminton right there. So the way I got the airplanes was I saw they moved around in this circular fashion. I have the original video here so that I can compare it to, and I saw the planes moved around in a circle. I couldn't really do that inside of Vegas without making a ton of keyframes, so I moved into Unity, which is right here. This is a free game engine called Unity. What I did was I built a rig using sprites from the game and pieces of Michael Rosen. So here's his head, here's the body, etc. And I animated it using Unity's animator, and I wrote a script right here to move the entire rig in a circle based on time using sine and cosine of time. And then I have these buttons here, so if I press a key on the keyboard, it can sort of puppet the rig to do a certain animation. So I went into the Unity. On top of a green screen, I had the rig moving around in a circle, and then I could puppet it by pressing these keys, and I basically just moved it to the beat of the song. Didn't really want to do any programming to try to sync it up with the song because I knew I could just do it manually, and basically moved it like that. And then I have another animation for the fancy one where they do the longer beats, so you can flip it. For the red plane, it was the same, just change this plane to the red sprite and flip the video in Vegas. So the way I got the clouds was I have another scene in Unity, and it's just the clouds on top of a blue screen using a particle system. One thing you might notice is that because of the way I did it, you can see the clouds through other clouds as if they're transparent, which I didn't really know how to fix. That's kind of an issue with the video. It makes it look not much like the game. The badminton, I deleted the scene that had the badminton in it, but I do have the script for it. So basically just 60 FPS, I made it update by moving left and right and then bouncing along a arc. And for the half speed, bounces, I just made it move higher and at half speed, and I recorded those two videos separately and sort of spliced them together in Vegas to match up with the song. So to recreate the actual game, I spliced these layers together. I moved the islands so that they synced up with the islands in the actual video. So I just layered the video on top and then made it about 50% transparent so I could see both on top of each other. So I lined them all up that way. And then I also moved the plane on the right so that it lined up with the video by just rescaling the frame. I did the same thing with the badminton to get it to move in and out of the foregrounds. So one of the main problems I came across when doing this was that Vegas kept crashing a lot because I had so many layers. I really should have rendered pieces individually instead of trying to put everything in one Vegas project, and that was kind of my problem. But that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. Thanks for watching.